Hello, friends. Welcome into Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey, here to discuss the latest stuff going on around the Ravens. There's been some major NFL news in the past 24 hours. Stephon Gilmore, we'll briefly hit him at the end, but I actually want to focus in on the start here. Jaylon Smith, could he be a fit for the Baltimore Ravens in NFL free agency? The Cowboys announced on Tuesday, which a move that cannot be made official until later in the day on Wednesday, that they were releasing linebacker Jaylon Smith, a former Pro Bowler, at one point one of the highest paid players at his position. Well, he's regressed since 2018. There's some potential future guarantees injury-wise the Cowboys were trying to avoid. So in the end, they cut him, and hoping for a trade that seems so unlikely at this point. So could he be a fit for the Ravens? After all, Jaylon Smith was a former Pro Bowler, and the raw tackle numbers last year, in particular, look oh so good. I will make note, though, for those of you that don't know, I am the host of our Cowboys channel here as well, the Dallas Cowboys Report. I have watched a ton of Jaylon Smith over the years. Raw tackle numbers are a poor way to value somebody when it comes to how good they are at an off-ball linebacker position. He would play middle linebacker in the Ravens scheme. Now, I don't think there's anyone in their right mind who thinks he'd be better than Patrick Queen. I don't even know if he's better than Malik Harrison, CJ Board instead. I think that what Jaylon could be for the Ravens is a backup depth piece. He's not an edge rusher. He's not good enough in that role, and the Ravens, of course, have better players already in that area. I don't believe that Jaylon is a bad player. He was a bad player relative to his contract. That was an issue, but with the offset language in his deal, Jaylon's going to sign for the vet minimum. He has limitations in his game. I don't trust him very much in coverage. He shoots the wrong gaps far too often. But as like a league average linebacker, there is some potential value there for a very cheap cost. I don't think the Ravens really need another body at inside linebacker, even with LJ Ford on IR. I think it makes the most sense to let Board and Harrison try to grow and develop, as especially Harrison is still a young player. So I would say pass if I were the Ravens. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Would you sign Jaylon Smith? Get your votes in for me in the comment section right now. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So we get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down. Type in Y for yes or N for no. Let's talk about a different linebacker now, the outside linebacker position. Oweh has been getting some defensive rookie of the year buzz, which I think, for the record, is very fair. Oweh has been a very important part of this Ravens defense. I have been impressed by what he's been able to do in a, really what I'll call it, a starting role for the Ravens. Now, I'll also make note, there is plenty of competition for the award this season. But Odafe Oweh has been impactful. 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, a bunch of quarterback hits, some well-timed forced fumble/fumble recoveries. But there is some, if you think Oweh is going to put up the big-time numbers, there's some value here in terms of the odds with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Micah Parsons, Patrick Surtain are the betting favorites right now, plus 400. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, the Browns linebacker, plus 700. Jamin Davis, the Washington football team off-ball linebacker. 3 off-ball backers with Parsons, got a hybrid there, inside the top 4, plus 1,000. Zaven Collins, plus 1,200. Asante Samuel, Gregory Rousseau, plus 1,200. Then Azeez Ojulari and Odafe Oweh, the true full-time edges, are all the way down there at plus 1,400. Which I think is actually pretty decent value if you think Oweh's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. It's actually great value in terms of potential return on your investment. You just bet $10, boom, $140 going your way. That's pretty good value if you are looking to make some money on the Ravens. And you can do it with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Those odds you just saw, they all come to us from BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. That link is right there on the bottom of your screen. Use promo code CHAT125. That will get you a 125% deposit bonus. Chatsports.com/bet. promo code chat125. When you put down at least $100, you will get an extra 125% on top of that. So $100 in, extra $125. Put $10 on Odafe Oweh to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. There's really no downside at that point. Let's talk running backs now, because this is a very interesting situation in terms of the uncertainty right now. And I know fantasy owners care too about the running back position. The rotation, I think even for the Ravens, what they say publicly, still remains unclear. Latavius Murray was the number one back in Week 4 for Baltimore, especially from a snap count perspective. He led the way there, both snap counts and on the ground. The raw rushing stats heavily favored Latavius Murray in Week 4. There was no Tyson Williams in that game. 18 carries, 59 yards for Murray. Lev Bell got activated from the practice squad, 4 carries, 11 yards. Devonta Freeman had just 1 carry. So Bell played a decent amount, 20 snaps in this one compared to Latavius Murray's 45 snaps. Devonta Freeman, meanwhile, had 6 snaps in Week 4, excuse me. For the season, meanwhile, Tyson Williams, who again, more on him coming up, was inactive in Week 4. He still leads the way with 112. Latavius Murray, he seems to have the most stabilized role, is what I'll call it. He's got 101. Devonta Freeman has had his touches and snaps go the wrong way. I wonder how much longer he's going to be on this team. You might see Lev Bell get the full-time call-up. He had 20, so he played a decent amount. He was RB2 over Freeman last week. For the season, Tyson Williams has been the most productive. He's got a pretty darn good average right there. He's been explosive. I think the Ravens have concerns about the pass blocking, some of the things he's done in terms of beyond just being a runner. Latavius Murray is the one they trust more than Williams at this point, which is interesting. Freeman and Bell are veterans who just haven't, gotten a ton of touches. One good one for Freeman. He's been very unproductive beyond that, especially on the ground. So I don't know the answer really to this question. So I want you guys to chime in. Pick a running back 1 for me. Type LM for Latavius Murray. Type DF for Devonta Freeman. Type TW for Tyson Williams, or type in LB for Le'Veon Bell. This might be a weekly question at this point, but get your votes in for me in the comments section. I think the RB1 is Latavius Murray. I do think and expect this will be a committee, which is what the Ravens have done in the past. It's never been a Derrick Henry, he gets 90, 80, whatever it is, percent of the snaps and carries. I think it will probably be, if I had to wager the top 3, Latavius Murray, Tyson Williams, Lev Bell, Devonta Freeman. It's a bit of an interesting situation. Maybe the Ravens will continue to monitor the market, because this is what John Harbaugh had said, by the way, just a few days ago. Quote, "We've got 4 guys who are very deserving. I just wanted to give guys a chance. Which route are we going to go? We pulled Tyson Williams back. It wasn't anything other than that. We just have got to figure out what we're doing going forward after watching the tape and see how they all fit together. We're figuring that out for ourselves right now." So I expect more answers after Week 5 for the Baltimore Ravens. We'll have a post-game recap on the channel, as we have been doing for you guys here. Some news and rumors, reaction coming out of it. If you want that, hit that big red button and subscribe. The next step to catching our Browns channel here at Chat Sports, which I wouldn't mind being able to do, is to get us to 1,600 subscribers. If you haven't already and you want free videos, hit that big red button and subscribe today. The biggest NFL news of the day was the Stephon Gilmore trade. The Panthers get him, and the Patriots get back only a future 6th-round pick. And I know the Ravens had been kind of linked to Gilmore because they're an aggressive team, and they kind of got some injury issues at corner. So I want to know, would you, with the benefit of hindsight, of course, have done that deal? Type D for deal, you would have done it, or type in ND for no deal. Get your votes in for me in the comments section. I will raise this point as well. Money and medical were major red flags for the Baltimore Ravens, and for really the entire NFL. Gilmore's contract was about $6-7 million, somewhere in that range for this year. tough for the Ravens to afford it. And the medical, he's still on the PUP list for 2 more weeks. So I think because of all those things, the Ravens and the rest of the NFL said, no, we're going to pass for now, except, of course, for the Carolina Panthers. The fact that Gilmore went for so cheap is indicative of what his true value was around the rest of the NFL.